fans all over the world, it's Daddy Pete with Slap Pappy Gorilla. What? Fight fans all over the world, you know I'm back. This Daddy Pete. Listen, we got David Benavidez. We got Demetrius Andrade. Y'all already know it's old news now, man. But that fight is locked in for November the 24th. Hey, that means right after Thanksgiving, right after you eat your turkey, you can make you a leftover plate, a turkey sandwich, whatever, and watch this fight. Listen, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Hey, look, a lot of fans been wanting to see him face Canelo Alvarez. And, you know, hey, you got a lot of Demetrius Andrade fans still out here that wanted to see him face Canelo Alvarez. Well, good news, because Canelo Alvarez, who is the undisputed champion at the 168-pound division, hey, look, the WBC president for that particular version of the title, Mauricio Suleiman, has mandated that Canelo Alvarez fights, hey, none other than David Benavidez. Now, what this means for this particular fight, man, is that the stakes are a little bit higher, as both guys they've been running and chasing after Canelo Alvarez. Listen, Canelo Alvarez is now fighting, y'all know, this month. Matter of fact, we about to come into fight week. We right here, right at the tip of fight week. September the 30th is fighting another undisputed champion from 2 weight classes below him at 154. He fighting Jermell Charlo. Listen, Jermell Charlo landed the fight after Canelo got a 3-fight deal with Showtime and PBC to fight on their platform. You know, he got a 3-fight deal. And it was, I guess, supposedly, he was supposed to fight the bigger Charlo. And I say bigger because he have been campaigning at a higher weight class at 160, higher than his brother. They twins, you know, everybody knows. But anyway, it was supposed to be that he was going to challenge Jermell Charlo. But Jermell Charlo, you know, he had some things going on and he's not prepared for a fight. So, hey, the fight went down to none other than his brother, Jermell Charlo, like I say, who is the undisputed champion at 154. Now, when they announced this fight on September 30th between Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, Jermell Charlo will be stripped of his WBO title, you know, that version of the 154-pound title. Right when they announced the fight, that title is going to be going to that interim champion, which is none other than Tim Tszyu. So he going to still be the undisputed champion until they announce him in the ring with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. Once they announce the fight, hey, it's a done deal. So now Mauricio Suleiman has come with that WBC version of Canelo's title and say, hey, look, next you have to face, in order to keep this WBC version of that title, the 168-pound title, hey, you gonna have to face the interim champion, which is David Benavidez. So it looked like they kind of tightening up on him. They didn't say they was finna strip him, but they look like they tightened it up. The walls are tightening in on Canelo Alvarez, and this is something I've been talking about. Hey, a lot of Canelo Alvarez fans been hitting me because I've been talking about this, but look, when you are the undisputed champion, that means you got all 4 major belts held up in that division, and you go to defending. Now I give him credit, he done fought his mandatories, like, you know, that's how you justify John Ryder, you know, stuff like that. But, bro, now you defending those 168-pound titles against a 154-pounder. And what that does is, man, look, that takes away the opportunity for the guys that's been campaigning at 168, you know, and they want a shot at the title. But you got all 4 of the major titles held up, you know. So that's why, man, Mauricio Suleiman say, hey, look, man, look. Hey, I know you the cash cow of the sport and all that, but pressure on me. I got to do the right thing. Now, everybody know these sanctioning bodies are suspect, and they getting money from all of the fighters that fight and represent their version of the titles. They get a portion of their purse when they fight. So that's why a lot of time, man, Canelo Alvarez can slip and slide because he the cash cow. You know, hey, a percentage of 25 million is higher than a percentage of 10 million or 1 million. So Canelo Alvarez, man, you know, this guy's making upwards of 20, 30 million a fight. So when he get a purse and they get a certain percentage of it, it's always gonna be higher than these guys that's making like $1 million a fight, 5 million a fight, even 10 million a fight. So a lot of times Canelo Alvarez has been getting special privileges that he really don't need, because when he goes to the negotiating table, he don't need your belt. And quite frankly, Canelo Alvarez has told Mauricio Suleiman a time or two that, hey, you could take your belt and shove it, because Canelo Alvarez, when he go to the negotiating table, he's always going to be the A side, and he's always going to make, like I say, upwards of $20-30 million. So he don't need the WBC title to do that. But Canelo Alvarez is getting to the end of his career. He's getting a little long in the tooth. And the reason why I say that, this guy started like, what, 15, 16 years old as a professional fighting in Mexico. So that's, you know, he's getting long in the tooth in the fact that he's had a lot of fights, you know, and your body just, you know, start to break down after a lot of training camps, getting punched a lot in sparring sessions. And, you know, it's a grueling process. And from what the fighters say, it's worse in the training camps than really inside the ring. When they get to the ring in a big fight, they say their body takes actually less punishment than in a training camp getting ready for those fights. So Canelo Alvarez, man, he done had a lot of fights, man. And, you know, he's getting towards the end of his career. So my point is, his legacy is still in his mind. So not that he needs the belts for the money part, you know, hey, he's set as far as that, but he does want to fight with his championship belts, with his titles, because in the history books, that's what's going to tell. You know, when he's gone, when he's probably dead and gone, or when he's retired, in the history books, what's going to be recorded is like how many times he defended his undisputed title, how many championship fights he defended his belt successfully. All of these things are going to be going into the history books. So for Canelo Alvarez, it's still important that he has those straps because of his legacy and what's going to go down in history. So, you know, he is going to think about that, but my whole point to this video is that this makes this fight a little bit more intriguing. That's between David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade, because both these guys have been chasing Canelo Alvarez. Both these guys, and look, Demetrius Andrade, for those of you that are fight fans and you only been fight fans for a few years, or you were casual fans and now you're paying a little more attention to the sport, Demetrius Andrade is a guy that came highly touted out of the amateurs. He's getting a little bit older and long in the tooth as well. he had some promotional problems earlier in his career, and then he started jumping from company to company as his managers and promoters, and it kind of crippled him. It stopped him from getting a couple big fights, and it messed up his career a little bit just from some decisions he made, you know. But this is a big fight for him, and he's been basically chasing Canelo Alvarez since he was campaigning at 154 pounds. Then he went to 160, still calling out Canelo. Now, you know, Canelo's at 168, and Demetrius Andrade is now campaigning at that weight, and he's still looking for that fight, you know. So he's been chasing Canelo Alvarez for a long time. And you already know the story of David Benavidez. David Benavidez has been campaigning at 168, and even before Canelo Alvarez decided to settle in the weight class, David Benavidez was a champion. He was that WBC champion, and he lost that belt, not in the ring, but the first time he lost it due to substance abuse. It was not drugs that were performance enhancing drugs. It was cocaine. He was partying between fights or whatever and got caught up, and the next time he got the belt back, he fought, y'all remember he fought Anthony Durrell. He got that WBC strap back, but then the next time he lost it on the scale, you know, during the pandemic, for COVID-19, when they were fighting in the bubble or whatever, where it wasn't fans there was only so many people that could come inside of the little arena that they were fighting in, and they had to go through all of these different health checks. And he said out of his own mouth that, you know, that was a little bit of a distraction for him, and he missed weight, but that's how he lost his actual belt, that 168-pound world championship, that WBC title. He lost it on the scale. So he never lost. He's undefeated, you know. Yeah, he's undefeated. He's 27-0 with 23 KOs. That's David Benavidez. So he's never lost a title in the ring, but he did lose it, you know, due to some circumstances outside of the ring. And when he lost it that last time, Canelo Alvarez had begun campaigning at the weight, and he came and scooped it up, fighting for a vacant title. So he got that strap, Canelo Alvarez, and ever since he had the strap, David Benavidez has been challenging him to get that strap back. You know, and then Canelo Alvarez went on a run to pick up, you know, other straps, and he has become undisputed in the weight division. And ever since, David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, has been chasing him down for that strap. So now this is news for both guys, as Mauricio Sulaiman have mandated that the interim WBC champion, which is none other than David Benavidez, has a right to that version of the 168-pound title, which is the WBC. He has a right to the next, to challenge for that next. You know what I'm saying? That's what Mauricio Sulaiman is mandating. So this particular fight, if David Benavidez wins, he has a right to fight for that WBC championship next. You know, if he gets beat by Demetrius Andrade, then Andrade has that same right. So, and anyway, it's the interim championship belt. That WBC interim championship belt is the belt that has the right to challenge for the WBC World Championship strap. So, I mean, you have that spot anyway, but what Mauricio Sulaiman has done is mandated that fight be next. After this fight, that's between Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo. The fight, that interim champion has the right to fight for it next. So that just puts some pressure on Canelo Alvarez. You know, Terrence Crawford, that's bad news for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford been calling out Canelo like, hey, yeah, I want to fight you and the winner of this fight and all that. Well, it looks like, man, look, he won't be the undisputed champion if he don't choose to fight David Benavidez. But now, this is the thing. Canelo Alvarez, like I said, he don't need the belt to negotiate. He could very well give the belt up and still be a unified champion and fight if he wants to. And it will not hurt his purse at all because he's going to be the A side in any negotiations. And his deal with Showtime and PBC will not be hurt. And they will still continue to pay him top dollar for every fight. You already know that. So it's not going to hurt Canelo Alvarez if he dropped that WBC title. And then it will probably be whoever wins this fight between Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez. They may be elevated to the champion or they may fight for a vacant title. So I don't know. But to me, that just make this fight a little more intriguing. Y'all know that Demetrius Andrade is a southpaw. BoxRec have him as 6 foot. I've seen some places where he's noted as, well, they got him as 6'1". I think like 73-inch arm reach, something like that. Matter of fact, let me look real quick. Yeah, Demetrius Andrade is listed as 73.5-inch reach, you know. And real quick for David Benavidez, he is 74.5-inch reach, and he's 6'2". So these guys are very close when it comes to the numbers as far as their, you know, the tail of the tape. Skill wise, Andre has some skill, man. Andre, like I said, he came out of the amateurs as highly touted, Olympian, very good amateur pedigree. And as he came out, like I said, he just had some, you know, once he came to professional rankings, he had some promotional issues that kind of dampened his career, but he is a very high skill level fighter. He just always needed that one big fight to validate him in the, you know, in the industry. And this is the fight for him now. He did go to the zone and made some money, but he still lacked that, you know, big name on his resume. He is a champion in 2 different weight classes. He was a world champion in 54 and at 160. So he has been a champion. He just still haven't had that big name recognition. And I mean the same basically for David Benavidez, but David Benavidez has recently put on a masterful show against Caleb Plant. That was his basically very big name in the industry, you know. But he's trying to take his name and his profile to the next level. If he beats Demetrius Andrade, that will give him a little more notoriety, and hey, possibly he gets this Canelo Alvarez fight. So hey, this fight comes now with a lot more stakes. The younger and, you know, you would probably say faster David Benavidez, hey, he's coming in to take this fight by storm. And then you still have a very high level, high skill boxer in Andrade that has a very high boxing IQ. He's probably missing a little bit of a step. He's a little older, like I said. But, you know, you can't take away from his pedigree. So I think this is going to make for a very good fight. And now they both wanting that big opportunity against Canelo Alvarez. I believe this makes this fight a lot more intriguing. So hey, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. This is Daddy P. Hey, like, hate, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time it goes down. This is Daddy P. Y'all holla at your boy. I'm out of there.